So he gave me the challenge, like something really big. It's like anything bigger than I've ever done during that time.
Style Podcast brought to you by Siva Network. Dan hari ini saya Astrid Bestari sedang berada di Palm Living bersama fotografer Nicolin Patricia Malina. Hari ini kita akan berbincang tentang her career journey di fashion industry Indonesia sebagai fotografer wanita. Hai Karin.
Hi Astrid.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
So, buat yang belum familiar, I'm pretty sure you all already familiar with her. She is the one who has been doing the photography work di fashion industry Indonesia, dan dia juga memiliki manajemen bernama Studio NPM dan juga brand clothing wear bernama Lani Fati. Oke, hai Kanik. So, mari kita mungkin awal dulu. Kayak, how long have you been here in this industry?
I've been in this industry for hampir 20 tahun.
20 years.
Almost 20 years.
Wow. Wow. So you started when?
I started in 2006. Cuman kalau itu kan we go way back dari aku baru megang kamera pertama kali ya.
Yeah.
But I got really into the industry tahun 2008 kali ya. That's when I came back to Jakarta.
Okay.
Came back to Indo.
Okay. So you were originally from?
I'm from Surabaya.
Yeah.
Born and raised. Tapi aku aku lanjutin uni aku di Belanda. So I stayed there for 6 years I think, and I came back 2008. Now you know my age.
You know,
If you can do the math.
Thankfully I'm not good with numbers.
Okay.
She knows. Okay, so apa sih yang pertama kali bikin kamu start buat kayak, okay, aku mau jadi photographer fashion? Karena mungkin back then jadi fotografer fashion juga tuh belum terlalu orang-orang familiar buat dijadiin profesi, right?
Yeah, I think so. Mungkin karena aku startnya di fashion, karena I did fashion design first. Jadi aku pas SMA itu aku juga ngambil kursus fashion design di Surabaya di Arva Studio. Ikut beberapa kompetisi dan lain-lain. Tapi mungkin pada saat itu untuk menjadi fashion designer itu lebih susah, lebih butuh modal yang jauh lebih gede. But I love the fashion industry so much. And one of the other role that I really respected are the photographers. Jadi dari situ aku juga pengen nyoba kan, kayak will I find the passion in this field? Dan pada saat aku tuh coba, ternyata I love it so much and I haven't stopped.
Oh, that's so interesting. Jadi pertama kali kamu megang kamera itu memang kamu sebelumnya udah koleksi dan kamu emang hobi foto?
Sebenarnya enggak koleksi juga, but my dad had this film camera that he always use foto-fotoin kita gitu kalau lagi ada acara, ada event, my birthday, everyone's birthday, he used this film camera and I love it. Aku pernah pinjam, jadi aku foto-fotoin teman aku dandanin, aku stylingin, aku make upin gitu. And we were kids and I enjoy it so much. I enjoy the whole process. Terus kayak deg-degan gitu nunggu jadinya gimana.
That's so cute.
Yeah, jadi begitu udah di develop, of course the picture sucked because I didn't understand lighting at all. But I love the whole process. Mungkin dari situ kayak aku sempat lupain, terus masuk fashion design. Dan waktu aku kuliah, I start to pick up my camera. Kamera aku tadinya ya udah aku bawa aja buat keperluan kuliah lah. Terus aku mulai lagi, jadi aku stylingin teman-teman di dorm aku, terus aku foto-fotoin juga, and that's how it started, I think. Sampai sekarang masih dandanin orang juga, masih fotoin juga.
Yeah,
nothing really changed.
And what was your first camera?
My first camera was
You still remember?
I still remember, I still have it.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it was a Nikon F2.
Nikon F2.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Masih oke.
Terus other than fashion, do you shoot another stuff too?
Oh, I shoot everything. I shoot.
Okay.
Whatever pays, I'll shoot it.
Whatever pays.
I'm a commercial photographer. I shoot everything. I love shooting during my travels as well. Jadi portraits, landscape, and things, places. I love shooting everything.
Terus what is your apa sih perjalanan kamu sampai akhirnya kayak oke, setelah kamu nyoba buat kayak jadi fashion photographer, terus kamu akhirnya memilih oke, let's just do this career gitu.
I think when I started, yang waktu tadi aku di Belanda itu pada saat kuliah, karena aku start dari foto-fotoin teman-teman di dorm, terus mulailah ketemu. I scouted people, not scouted, like I found people in the bus. Like she would like sit in front of me and I would ask her, "You're so pretty, can I shoot you?" And I keep doing that. And then I start shooting models. And before I knew it, I was doing it almost every day.
Okay.
Jadi kayak nggak berasa gitu, because I had fun while doing it. Jadi it's like a hobby. And I just keep doing it until I start to get offers, assignments, jobs. Kayak dari situ pelan-pelan kesini sih. It's a really long 20 years process.
Wow, I see. Terus kayak waktu kamu di Belanda itu, akhirnya berarti kamu apparently udah build your career photography sebenarnya udah dari Belanda ya, bukan cuma di Indonesia.
Dari sana sih, like I wouldn't say like I'm a professional per se, because I was still a student. Cuman I took jobs, kayak apa namanya? Well, when I was there, I took a lot of jobs, not just photography. I was a waiter too. Tapi aku pernah dapat one of a brand that asked me to do a lookbook, and I was just starting. It was one of my first job, which brought me to Amsterdam Fashion Week karena she was showing in Amsterdam Fashion Week. Terus dari sana kayak aku memberanikan diri buat kirim portfolio to magazine. I sent my portfolio to Elle magazine. Of course, I got rejected for the whole 2 years, I think 1 year, 2 years, until they finally called me back. Terus nanya gitu, mau nggak datang ke kantor kita gitu, and then we can talk. We might have a assignment for you. I think you just felt sorry for me because I just kept every 3 months I just kept sending an email kayak karena aku selalu kirim dengan kerjaan aku yang lebih baru gitu. Okay, maybe that one was bad. Now I have a better one. Maybe I should send them. So I got my first editorial gig waktu itu juga. And then aku juga ikut beberapa kompetisi juga buat fashion photography, and there was a breakthrough that I won my first photo competition, I think. But that was also the time when I decided to come back.
Oh, okay.
It was good while I was there. It's definitely harder.
Yeah.
Karena to get into the industry, it's much back then. It's much better if you speak Dutch fluently,
That's
which
true.
I didn't.
Okay.
And preferably have a studio, and you already have a lot of networks, of course. And it's of course something like I didn't mind to build on back then. Cuman ternyata emang because of some reason I had to go back, so I went back.
I see. Wow.
No regrets.
What a story. Well, no regrets. I mean, look at you now.
Hey.
Terus kalau biasanya tuh kamu kalau foto tuh pakai teknik apa sih yang biasanya kamu aplikasiin ke your works? Dan how do you manage kayak ini evolution gaya fotografi Nicole dari dulu sampai sekarang tuh sama atau berbeda?
I would say kalau teknik itu I love exploring different kind of techniques, lighting, editing, apalagi ya, composition. I love to try everything. Kayak di awal I would say the evolution of my style itu juga berkembang seiring waktu juga gitu. Like back then I love to shoot like some timeless black and white. Terus kadang aku lebih suka explore colors, new composition, different kind of lighting. I think aku tuh nggak suka sekolah ya, nggak suka belajar. But with photography, like I don't mind learning everything. Like I'm really excited learning stuff. Like I still watch YouTube, TikTok, and everything that gives me lighting tutorials. Aku mesti nonton, aku mesti ngeliat terus tiap malam before I go to sleep. Terus my ritual. Jadi belajar something, and I can't wait to implement it on my next shoot gitu. Jadi I would hope that people see my style as something evolving actually.
I see. Okay. So does that make you an idealist? Kamu?
Kind of.
Ya?
Yeah, kind of.
Jadi kayak idealismenya Nicole as a photographer tuh apa sih?
I wouldn't say like I'm that idealist, but it's really nice if you say that because like I don't consider myself one. Karena I'm a commercial photographer. That means like I have to shoot whatever the client wants me to shoot.
Yeah.
But I think my idealism lies in a principle that I hold on to is the quality of my work. Jadi like I can do like various style, but I have to deliver a consistent quality, whether it's lighting or editing. Apalagi ya, like everything colors, kayak lebih ke situ sih idealisnya, not like a style,
Okay.
but like the quality of like the whole final result.
Okay.
But at the same time, I love to just keep apa ya, open-minded aja gitu. Jadi I love to adapt to the current trend right now. Sekarang lagi seru apa sih, orang-orang lagi bikin apa sih, and I wouldn't say no to that. I would love to try that as well.
Okay.
So I would say I'm both, but I'm leaning towards
I think you're just
adapting.
injecting your DNA.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Nah, lalu untuk inspirasi utama Kanik tuh kayak, I mean, I know you're a commercial photographer, tapi kan kadang kayak we can tell kayak oh ini kerjaannya Kak Nicole yang kayak gini. Like what inspires you the most when it comes to it?
I wouldn't pinpoint of one thing inspired me. Semua sih kayak tadi aku bilang aku nonton TikTok ngajarin lighting aja aku udah I got inspired. Terus kayak I want to do it like the next day. Or I watch a fashion show like the Margiela fashion show yang kemarin.
Yang kemarin.
Like I got inspired by the makeup. I would want to do that. Or I got inspired by a lot of fashion show inspired me karena apa namanya? For me it's like also trend based. Like I need to keep up what's happening right now, and I want to try something new. Gitu. So I got inspired by that. I get inspired by travel, the people I meet, terus environment, places, banyak sih.
I see.
I got inspired by you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, kan commercial and editorial. Dua hal itu tuh berbeda sekali. The other one has much more artistic approach, and the other one is much more selling. What makes you kayak pengen differentiate dua itu dan kamu lebih prefer kemana sih? Kalau bisa jujur.
I wouldn't say it's like much difference because you kind of have to please other people too in the end,
Yeah.
both world.
Yeah, that's true.
Cuman,
Yeah.
of course, kalau misalnya kita bikin editorial itu seru banget karena kita juga kerja sama creative team yang have the same vision in executing like this fashion photo shoot yang mungkin lebih gila ide-idenya yang kayak lebih out of the box. While commercial you kinda lean on the safe side, right? Kayak ya yang penting tajam gitu, produknya kelihatan. Like I wouldn't choose which one is my favorite because both has the challenges and I love challenges. Kalau misalnya di komersil mungkin my challenge is to turn like this mundane layout brief into something really interesting in the end, and that is a totally different challenge. Kalau misalnya editorial kan ya udah pasti bagus lah ininya, kayak the whole team udah pasti bagus, baju udah pasti bagus, model udah pasti bagus, it's like ya gaji buta aja gitu, foto-foto seru gitu. And that's why I love it, of course. Cuman kalau misalnya if I have to do one thing for the rest of my life, I would do commercial because
I knew it.
or else I wouldn't eat.
Yeah, it pays more.
It pays more.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Totally agree with that as a creative worker. Right? Okay, speaking of fashion photography, bisa dibilang tuh kalau di dunia mode Indonesia kita kayak siapa ya fotografer wanita yang bisa kita pakai? Nicolene. You're like she always be on top of mind.
Oh,
Nah,
thank you.
apa sih pandangan Kanik soal ini? Kadang aku juga suka berpikir ya, as a female, I always thinking, why kayak kok belum banyak gitu. Meanwhile kayak so far creative director and designers perempuan tuh udah semakin mulai banyak. Nah, untuk Kanik tuh apa sih role fotografer wanita sekarang?
Sekarang udah banyak banget sih, Astrid. Sebenarnya, I mean like not as many as I would like it to be, but dibandingin dari aku start dulu, itu cuma dikit banget, kehitung jari yang aku kenal ya. Pasti banyak karena fotografi sendiri tuh fieldnya juga di luar fashion tuh juga banyak kan.
Betul.
Landscape photographer, journalist, itu banyak banget
Ada
yang perempuan
wedding
juga.
photographer.
Tapi specifically in fashion photography, I think karena fashion industry itu dinamis banget dan pergerakannya makin lama makin cepat. Jadi aku yakin akan lebih banyak ruang untuk fotografer perempuan nantinya untuk terus berkreasi atau untuk memberikan visinya juga. And I can't wait for that karena di luar negeri mungkin lebih banyak ya di sini. Aku sendiri nggak tahu kenapa the profession of photography, fashion photography itu lebih banyak di cowok. Like I didn't even consider it when I started. Of course, when I started as a fashion design student, I never met any female photographer. I think no, there's one. No, and she was so cool. I think she was one of the reason why waktu
Kamu mau jadi
ngeliatin,
photographer.
Cause like ternyata ada loh female photographer, so I can do it as well gitu. Cuman sekarang sih jauh lebih banyak sih daripada aku start dulu.
That's interesting. Ya. Berarti untuk dari perspektif kamu sebenarnya pertumbuhannya sudah banyak ya?
Udah banyak banget sih
Udah
sebenarnya.
Okay, glad to hear that. Nah, speaking of being dynamic nih, kayak sekarang itu kan era of social media. Semuanya very, very quick. Terus semuanya tuh benar-benar punya short term attention span gitu lah. Terus sekarang juga banyak nih anak-anak sama orang-orang yang mengolah fotografi secara otodidak, tapi turns out it's not that bad. Ternyata malah bagus-bagus gitu. Nah, untuk kalau dari sisi fotografer tuh hal itu gimana sih? Kayak are you happy that mungkin dulu fotografer dibilang cuma jeprek-jeprek, sekarang kayak orang udah mulai ngerti it takes skill, it takes consistency, and it's a hard job. Gitu. Apa yang kamu rasa dari itu?
It is. It is a hard job. Not really. Sometimes I feel like I'm very lucky to have the easiest job in the world, and some shoot I will like, this is so hard. Like, why did I do this? Like, why did I choose this career path? Cuman nyambung ke social media. Sebenarnya buat aku menyenangkan banget dengan ada social media dan fotografi atau visual art pada umumnya sekarang juga jauh lebih accessible. Memang juga jauh lebih susah untuk create something yang memorable sekarang karena like what you said, everything is instant, everyone is swiping really fast, and everyone can take a good photo now di era sekarang. Tapi buat aku itu lebih banyak plusnya juga. Like I wouldn't say that is I wouldn't say it threatened photographer's job. Sama sekali nggak ada signifikannya untuk hal itu gitu, karena seperti yang kamu bilang juga dari social media orang bisa ngelihat ternyata susah ya, especially when I post like my behind the scene shoot proses, itu orang juga ngelihat ternyata susah ya bikin ini ya, ternyata nggak cuma foto aja ya. Betul. Gitu. So I think it's something to embrace for me. Like I love social media so much. When I used to love it more, I got kind of bored of it now. Like I don't post as much. I should have.
You should.
Curhat.
You should go.
Iya, tapi yang kayak like back then, I love to use my platform to hopefully inspire people. Now I get inspired and I learn more from like the younger photographers. Yeah, just kayak it's full circle gitu aja. I love it.
Oh, that's yeah. I think relevance is the most important part on making your skill better, and for you to have relevance juga di karya-karya kamu, jadi nggak lampau gitu.
For real.
So relevancy itu penting sekali ya.
Relevansi penting banget.
I see. Nah, kalau let's talk about equipments. Pasti banyak banget orang-orang yang kayak, Nicole ini kalau shoot pakai apa sih gini-gini? Nicole tuh wajibnya pakai apa sih gini-gini? Kamu mau nggak spill kayak
alat ya? I use the same camera since many years ago. It's the office camera actually. Like we use it for jobs, and I have my own little camera as well. Cuman kenapa aku pakai kamera itu? I use a Sony 7R Mark IV. I can't keep up anymore. I remember all my lenses though. Jadi there are a couple of lenses that I will always use. I have to have them all in every photo shoot gitu. Jadi mungkin lebih ke situnya, cause my camera, a lot of people are using the camera as well. Terus I love to experiment with lenses. I love to experiment with film cameras as well. Like lately, I've been using this medium format, and it gives a really different
different
vibe.
ambience. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, and then kayak lalu untuk kalau kayak lensa-lensa kamu itu tuh apa sih lensa yang menurut kamu sekarang kayak for a beginner you should have this?
For beginner, you should use 50 millimeters for fashion photographers because karena lensa itu kan kayak how do I put that?
How do you put a lens?
Kayak the focal point, it gives a different
Okay.
apa ya?
Lens
Pandangan
tuh,
gitu ya. Jadi kalau misalnya if you use like a zoom lens, like you get closer, of course. If you use a wide lens, everything got distorted because it's really wide. With 50 millimeter, you get like you will on the pictures you will get what you see. So nothing is distorted, nothing is zoomed. Jadi I think it's a good start for fashion photographers. I love my 50s. I started with my 50, but I use my 85 millimeters now, which gives like a deeper portrait feeling, and I love doing portraits. So yeah, those are both my favorite lenses, and I love my zoom lenses. I love my 24-70, which I carry during my travels. Not so much anymore because it's pretty heavy, but it's an all-around lens.
I see. Okay, now let's talk about your photo shoot. Apa sih photoshoot pertama kali yang menjadi turnover? I mean, we all know you have been shooting for covers, magazine covers, and you have been shooting big commercial. But what was the first photoshoot yang jadi turnover your career?
Oh man, I would say.
She has so many.
no, I told you it's 20 years. I have to go way back and think about it.
10 years.
Apa namanya? I would say my first kayak karena nggak ada yang kayak impact in one night, itu nggak ada. So it's like apa namanya? Kayak a photo will give like this small impact, and it will lead to another photo which gives another impact. Just jadi it's a chain of everything all together. There's no one photo that changed my life. I would say my first photo that won the photo ini
Award?
The award waktu di Belanda back then. That was my first one because somehow it gives me the confidence to just keep going. Like kayak nggak ada social media kan, so like your only validation is awards.
That's true.
And it was like the first time what started for me as a hobby itu tuh jadi serius gitu, yang kayak people call me for interviews, and because apparently it's pretty big that a college student won this, dan saingannya sama fotografer yang lebih profesional gitu, so they make a big story out of it, and I was so overwhelmed, but I was also really proud of myself, and I would say that was the first photo that gives me like the gear to go on, and then after that a year later or 2 years later was my first fashion spread for Bazaar. Because it was a pretty big project. It was like, I don't know, 16 pages, 18 pages. Back then we could do that, right?
Yeah.
And which was a coincidence as well, because I came back to Jakarta right 2008, and I was working for a photography agency gitu, and I had a really good boss. Jadi dia yang the principal photographer for that company, and he shot for Bazaar.
Okay.
Jadi aku cuma ngeliatin dia shooting Bazaar, keren ya, oh itu Michael Fonda gitu.
Michael Fonda, hello.
Hi. Oh itu Michael gitu. And because my boss Sam, he travels a lot. Jadi dia itu pekerjaan utamanya, he shoots everything, all the advertising. Cuman dia itu shooting interior lebih sering kan, so he would travel and shoot hotels all around the world. So within that month, dia itu harusnya ada photo shoot. It was for anniversary issue for Bazaar, and it's a pretty big issue because he planned to do a lot of things. Terus apa namanya, at the same time he got booked for a job in, I don't know, Shanghai or Hong Kong something, and it's a pretty big brand. It's like client loyalnya mereka juga, so he had to go. And dia nanya kayak, Nick, lu mau ngerjain nggak? And I was like, what? You trust me? Really? Like, would Michael trust me? So I met Michael, and we discussed, and he told me at sebenarnya ada konsep ini tuh buat Sam, but if you want to do that, how about you do this concept? It's like totally altogether different, because what the concept that he gave to Sam, I wouldn't able to do that karena it takes another skill set, another equipment which I didn't have. Jadi dia bilang kayak, kita mau nggak bikin ini, because it's something that I really want to do, tapi nggak pernah bikin aja. So he gave me the challenge, like something really big. It's like anything bigger than I've ever done during that time. Jadi pakai prop banyak banget, like 5 models and everything. Rambut Kiki Franky gede-gede gitu. But I did it, and back then it was 2009, right? 2008, 9, I think. Everybody still loves to read magazines. And apa namanya? Waktu udah terbit, like I got messages, like kayak apa namanya? Bukan WhatsApp ya, BBM, whatever, kayak SMS, semuanya yang kayak, my God, I saw your picture, it was so good, and I was like, wow, is it out? Terus waktu itu juga bazar anniversary-nya kan lebih gede gitu kan, daripada bazar biasanya, so I just opened it, wow, that's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Terus dari sana mungkin kayak Michael started trusting me, because I could handle like this huge production, and we start to work together and create like even crazier concepts. Dari situ juga yang lain juga pada tahu gitu, jadi job-job komersial datang dari situ juga, and like another clients.
Yeah, that's perfect. Kalau dari personal experience aku tahu Kanik dari Kanik nge-shoot Liv Tyler.
Oh yeah.
For Bazaar too, right?
Yeah, that's 2014, girl.
Yeah.
What did you do before that?
I love reading magazine that much. I saw it. It was so amazing. Nah, yeah, it was 2014, right?
14.
Yeah, I think
around that time.
I was
10 years ago.
I was such a little
You're
kid.
a baby.
I used to be a baby. Okay, terus you know, when it comes to fashion photography, rata-rata objeknya tuh perempuan, modelnya perempuan. But then she can shoot locals too. Aku suka lihat Kanik pergi ke daerah dan negara lain, terus bisa shoot orang-orang lokal. How do you build connection with your objects?
I wouldn't call them objects to begin with. I would call them subjects.
Yeah.
And apa ya? I think with everyone in general, one that you want to shoot, or you want to befriend, or you want to interact, and you want to get to know more. I think like the first thing is trust and comfort. Jadi kayak I would love my approach to be bukan intimate, but really personal. So I wouldn't go and like shove a camera at a stranger straight away, because there's like I would build up trust sometimes in a really short moment of time. Like if I have 5 minutes, and I would like build trust 5 minutes, like, and it will start with a smile. It will start with yang kayak try to talk to them, because I'm a firm believer that aku tuh nggak akan foto orang tanpa izin, kayak pakai lensa zoom dari jauh foto gitu and post it to my social media. I wouldn't do that, because that's not what I'm looking for in a portrait. It's like I want my subjects to trust the camera, which all in all will trust the viewer, will trust the audience when the audience see it. Jadi lebih ke building itu sih, the trust, and bikin mereka jadi nyaman aja when I'm around, not like I'm
stranger who just want to take advantage.
Exactly, knowing that I'm in their space right now, and I have to respect that space. Jadi with that, and I think loving the culture help as well, because then I know what to shoot and what not to shoot, and kayak semuanya sih, all the aspect, like the lighting as well, the time of the day, like whether kalau misalnya orangnya lagi jelas-jelas lagi busy, nggak mungkin stop, boleh nggak foto bentar gitu. Nggak ya, jadi kayak knowing like the timing as well.
I see. Nah, let's talk about fashion photography again. Kan kita harus bikin the clothes as the main attraction. How do you manage buat kayak bikin the clothes jadi main attraction? especially in editorials?
I would say that you kinda ngebantu banget kalau you love fashion to begin with, of course,
Yeah.
because I love fashion, and aku tuh selalu tiap kali foto misalnya like an outfit, yang pertama aku lihat teksturnya dulu, warnanya dulu, and like is it sheer, is it velvet, and what's the best way to light this. Dan yang paling terpenting adalah in a fashion photo shoot you'll be working with a stylist, and he or she will know apa ya dari angle mana ya baju ini harusnya diambil gitu. That and knowing the right lighting to light the material as well. And last but not least, also important is the model, how she or he will carry the clothes as well, pose-nya kayak gimana, terus pergerakannya kayak gimana juga. I think everything, all the aspects itu semuanya sih yang bikin gimana cara bikin baju itu lebih berbicara gitu di photoshootnya.
I see. Nggak perlu ngomongin gender, tapi menurut Kanik sekarang fotografer sekarang tuh anak-anak muda udah punya cukup fotografer role model nggak sih di Indonesia?
I hope so.
You're also one of the buzzer icon, right? Because you're also one of the most prominent female photographer di Indonesia. Tapi kalau kamu lihat dari perkembangan fotografi Indonesia, rata-rata menurut kamu apakah mereka udah cukup bisa bikin Indonesian photographer tuh karya-karyanya ke luar negeri atau kayak internationally acclaimed gitu with that standard?
Sebenarnya udah banget ya. I think as well there's a lot of Indonesian photographers that I really love, and I just keep coming back to their work for inspiration. Cuman nggak tahu kenapa kita buat to be recognized globally is not as easy as like negara-negara yang lebih maju gitu. Jadi kayak Korean photographers, Japanese photographers, Chinese photographers, kayak like we banyak banget and we idolize them all, like we look at their job for inspiration as well. Cuman sebenarnya udah bisa banget sih kayak sekarang dengan all the new talent emerging, itu kualitasnya udah it's very global already. Harusnya sih udah bisa sih.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it too around the social media and everything. They're so good.
It's so good.
And they use a lot of techniques and a lot of equipment, different film and all that.
Crazy good.
Yeah. Nah, lalu kalau dari your perspective, apakah Indonesia as a country, as the government tuh udah cukup kayak supportive nggak sih ke career kalian? Like in terms of mungkin kayak regulasi kenyamanan pekerjaannya, atau mungkin kayak apakah government saat ini udah cukup kayak responsif untuk kayak okay, let's help the photographer here and let's help them and support them gitu dari sisi kayak gitu.
Pasti udah ada beberapa langkah yang udah diambil buat lebih menyupport atau mengembangkan industri kreatif juga sih di Indonesia. Tapi mungkin belum cukup kelihatannya buat sebagian orang. I would love to see more help mungkin dalam bentuk lebih memberikan pelatihan atau pendidikan. Mungkin kan udah ada ekskul fotografi juga di beberapa sekolah juga kan. Dari situ jadi
bisa
mungkin support ini bisa ditingkatkan dan bisa bikin generasi muda
generasi
juga tuh
baru
juga lebih
benar.
Iya, karena banyak banget pasti yang kayak suka motret tapi kebentur kan kamera mahal ya, atau yang kayak how do I do this. Jadi lebih kayak gitu sih. If we can have those free workshop, like going to schools, that would be nice actually. Tapi so far karena industri kreatif kita juga jauh lebih berkembang daripada dulu ya. Like the past
I see. Yeah, betul. I agree.
10 years probably. Dari 10 years it's been crazy and it's something really good.
Yeah.
Dan pasti juga semua disiplin visual arts pengen ada support lebih besar lagi ya. Dan fotografi juga salah satunya juga. So I would want to see more support as well in that.
I see. Nah, lalu kayak jika di luar sana ada yang pengen jadi fotografer fashion, langkah-langkah apa sih menurut Kanik kayak harus mereka tempuh kayak mungkin awal-awal let's start with them taking photo kayak strangers atau apa, atau perlu kayak mendekatkan diri ke industri fashion orang-orangnya siapa gitu. Menurut kamu apa sih tips yang kamu pengen kasih ke mereka?
To start off, I think mungkin learn the techniques as first.
Of course, yeah. First, learn the techniques. Develop your taste.
Yeah, develop your taste. And keep shooting. Jadi biarpun hasilnya pertama jelek, pasti jelek kalau pertama. Nggak mungkin langsung bagus gitu. Tapi jangan nyerah biarpun jelek. Just build your portfolio, network a lot, because you have to network in a lot of jobs, but especially fashion industry. I mean, like most photographers I know are introverts, including me. But if we have to do it, then we have to mingle.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, that's the key. Like you can go home and cry after that, but it's part of your job. Terus build your portfolio, shoot a lot, publish everything on your social media. Like kayak dulu kan kita harusnya kayak go to like kayak salesman gitu, bawa printed thing of your work, your tear sheet, going to like magazine office to another magazine office. Sekarang kan tinggal upload semuanya Instagram and
eventually
like, yeah,
you will be found.
Eventually you will be found. Jadi gampang untuk publish, tapi emang lebih susah buat ditemukan karena banyak yang kayak gitu juga mungkin.
Bener sih. Ya, sekarang the market are very saturated.
Yeah, very saturated.
Terus awal mula mendirikan studio NPM tuh apa sih, Kanik? Dan kapan?
Pertama kali didirikan tuh 2011.
Yeah. I was still a kid.
I know, right?
Oh my god. She's a legend.
Oh my god, I'm so old. Awal mula didirikan mungkin karena pengen bikin satu wadah atau platform aja buat fotografer fashion, semua fotografer sih, and like every discipline. Itu buat kita saling menyupport juga, and saling bertukar pikiran, saling inspirasi dari situ sih. Dan industri fashion juga salah satu industri yang sangat dinamis, dan kita itu pengen menjadi bagian yang bisa memberikan perubahan positif dalam industri fashion itu juga, and that's why we founded the NPM Photo. Dan dari situ juga kita bisa dari cuman yang kayak asosiasi fotografer, akhirnya kita bisa jadi yang kayak somehow creative agency as well.
Yeah.
Dari situ sih, kalau kita bisa memberikan kontribusi yang positif dalam this creative industry, then we would do it. And I think that was like the first and sole purpose of us building that.
I see. Nah, lalu waktu Kanik lagi mulai kayak ngajak orang-orangnya untuk ikut studio NPM, consideration apa aja sih yang Kanik mau dan ambil sebelum mengajak mereka kayak because he has this style of photography, atau mungkin dia gimana gitu?
Yang pertama mungkin adalah their work ethic.
Yeah.
Their work ethic, that's number one for me. That's kayak itu non-negotiable. They have to, because when you photographer, then commercial, editorial, everything, then you have to work with other people. So you have to have that collaborative spirit. Jadi nggak bisa yang terlalu me gitu. You have to be able to work in a team. That's really important for me. Second is when I see their work, I'm looking for consistency. I don't even look for good, like amazing pictures. Kayak if I see like their portfolio ada 2 amazing pictures, the rest are blah, then I wouldn't like that. But if I see like 10 really consistent quality of work, but nothing will go wow, then I would go for that one, because it's just like ini something long term. You kind of have to have the consistency, even though you kayak biarpun nggak suka shootnya, nggak suka modelnya, you have to deliver that consistency as well. Terus team player, consistency in their work.
Probably attitude.
Yeah, that too, the attitude, and your main reason to be passion.
Passion too, yeah.
Karena kalau misalnya ya udah iseng gitu, kayak pengen jadi fotografer kayak seru deh gitu, like somehow I would say that right away. I would know that you're picking up camera right now, you're going to live it in like 2 years, like that as well. Like I have to see that they're here for long term, basically.
Yeah. They're here for the battle and struggle. Nah, selain skill fotografi apa yang menurut Kanik perlu dimiliki oleh photographers zaman sekarang sih selain fotografinya? Probably lighting atau shoot video juga. How important is that?
Very important, because as you say, the industry is really saturated. Everyone can do amazing job in everything, and just like making good picture is not enough anymore. Dan I think it's good work ethic as well, karena dari situ juga orang akan, I mean like scoring your first client is easy, but making that client coming back to you while there's like a cheaper alternatives out there,
That's
itu
true.
yang lebih susah. Jadi
That's true.
your work ethic, you make sure that everyone's feel comfortable working with you.
Yeah. What about
Yes.
personality?
Oh, personality, I feel like we're photographers, we're pain in the ass, but tapi sopan aja kali ya sama klien.
That's true.
Terus confidence, I think, because it's something that most of us don't have. Like most of us photographers, like we think our work sucks, but to be able to fake that confidence in front of other people, that's a skill to have. Networking skill and people skill, because as I say, you work with a team, and mungkin kayak pengen selalu belajar ya, because like I wouldn't want an associate who is stuck with one style for like 5 years. Like I would want them to develop their style, learn new things, and be curious.
I see. Nah, your biggest pet peeves, boleh di-spill nggak? Apa pet peeves kamu dari sesama fotografer lain atau saat kamu lagi kerja?
My God, I would say
Self-photo
that,
shoot.
I would say being late, but I was late here for 45 minutes. So I would say that.
No, because your boss was sick. It's a different case.
Apa namanya? Someone who cannot communicate properly, I think. Karena kan we're here, like the whole team we have the same vision to execute like the same thing. Cuman kalau misalnya ada yang kayak, my pet peeves is when clients or like team saying that nggak tahu maunya apa, but like expect us to read their mind.
That's the worst.
Yeah, and then we would waste time like trying out a lot of different things until they will make up their mind, but they're not satisfied in the end because they don't really know, they don't have an idea of kayak apa namanya, ini mau dibikin kayak gimana gitu. So I think it's one of my pet peeves, but I would but I deal with it better now. But I think something that is my biggest challenge is weather, because we cannot control that at
That's
all.
true. Yeah.
So
the
if I shoot outdoor and forecast say it's going to be sunny, terus tiba-tiba mendung paginya, that's when
That's
I just start to like I have to like resist myself to not lose it.
Yeah, that's when I get to call the pawang hujan.
In the things. Iya sih. And kalau misalnya dia kayak gitu, and then your team get super slow as well, and then you're losing sun. That's one of my pet peeves as well.
That's a gift part with you. Lalu kalau gitu sekarang last but not least nih, aku pengen tanya deh. Apa sih pentingnya self branding jadi fotografer? Karena kita semua tahu ya kayak being a photographer, being a fashion stylist, we are a behind the scene person. Back then it was kayak mungkin dulu aku as a fashion stylist juga suka mikir, aku kan behind the scene people. Jadi kayak aku kayak ya udah lah ya, I don't need self branding or anything. But what do you think as a photographer?
Oh, it's really important.
See guys, listen.
It's really important. Kenapa ya? Karena mungkin the first thing for me, like the biggest for me, why I keep up like my social media and I keep posting, that's for the branding as well, right?
That's true.
It's for your visibility. So that's how your client will find you. That's how your team will find you and want to work with you.
That's true.
And when you develop your self branding, and you can show that you're unique and it's your selling point as well. Terus also like your self branding depends what your self brand is, but it makes your client trust you as well, and people will hear good things about you and they will want to work with you as well. Terus apa ya? And then you will get kayak step by step itu your client will be more prestigious, I think, karena dari situ juga. Iya sih, jadi more opportunities aja sih dari situ sebenarnya. Cause like
I agree.
If you're a photographer and you're like really talented, you have like amazing body of work, kayak all your pictures are wow, but you're just keeping it to yourself, then I don't think it will work.
Betul, betul. Karena in the end kita tetap harus cuan. Oke, selain fotografer, Kanik ini juga punya brand baju namanya Lani Fati. What makes you start that one?
Wow, what makes I'm wearing Lani Fati.
Yeah, Lani Fati.
Cause my first love was fashion design, I think.
Yeah, I just know actually.
Yeah, my first love was fashion design, but it was too hard for me to continue because I don't know, back then there wasn't, lebih susah, nggak banyak peluang juga. And then 20 plus years later I go back doing that again, but mostly because the first collection of Lani Fati itu lebih ke utilitarian things, so like something that I want to wear during my photo shoot, but I can't find it anywhere else. Jadi I start making them, like a jacket customized for me, something that I can wear from a shoot. Like we have that, right? Kita kan dulu photo shoot, abis itu mesti event, gitu
Betul,
kan?
betul.
Exactly. So I need something that can transform, like just that instant. But then creating a fashion brand, like in this sea of clothing and like clothing waste right now, is kind of irresponsible for me as well. So that's why I have to make sure that every steps that I take in building Lani Fati is ethical. And like for starter, kita pakai bahan yang like we wouldn't use material that's kind of irresponsible for earth as well. Karena kalau misalnya kita mau nambahin sesuatu lagi di industri yang nggak butuh juga sebenarnya, karena terlalu banyak. Like why would you want to add a problem? It's something that like back then when I was a fashion student, I wouldn't think about it. Kayak dulu nggak ada sustainability kan.
We didn't think about it.
But most of all, I think Lani Fati itu akhirnya dibikin karena mostly the support of my friends, basically. Like without their support, I wouldn't have the nerve to do it at all. Like why would you? And like, wasting money, ngapain gitu. And you're like one of them. Like, you're the one who was ini kan yang bikin the picture.
Yeah, and I went to your fashion show. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's why I remember your article. That's
why.
Yeah, she wrote my first article for our first fashion show, and I'm forever grateful.
It was so amazing, guys. I love that collection. Yeah, so what's next for Nicolene?
Making sure my dog is okay. Career-wise. Career-wise, I want to keep doing what I'm doing. Actually, nothing really changed since 20 years ago. I want to keep exploring. I want to keep learning new things. I want to use photography as my voice, actually, to hopefully make positive impact to the world. And that can be just by inspiring like one kid to do photography. That's, for me, is enough. Karena I did photography because I was inspired by photographers gitu. So in an ideal world, I would want to give that as well. And learning, just keep learning. Jadi nggak cuma tutorials, but like keeping up with trends and everything. And hopefully hopefully right now and for the past 20 years, hopefully I will bring impact to another woman to actually pursue this career in this creative world, especially as a photographer.
Yeah, it's so nice. And I really love talking to Kanik ya. And I just know kayak udah 20 tahun. Wow. That's so crazy. Wow. You just realized it here?
I just realized it here.
Okay.
No, kind of like I would think that I just lost 3 years because of pandemic, so I never really counted that.
Yeah, the pandemic was that was a nightmare actually. Okay, thank you so much, Kanik, for your time, and thank you so much for following me for the cozy space here. And to all of you, don't forget to follow Instagram at Shifound Network, and also YouTube Shifound Network, dan juga TikTok at Shifound Network ID. Bye bye.
Yay.